You can read the book. The CIA did everything they could to keep this from being published. The CIA and its allies in control of the United States and the world. The Secret Team by Fletcher Prouty. Colonel Prouty. This is the book the CIA does not want you to read, available at Infowars.com. The head of Black Ops for the Pentagon for 9 years. Of course, 25 years in the Air Force. Very important book. Available at Infowars.com, now back in print. Invisible Empire, New World Order Defined. And, of course, Don't Tread on Me, dealing with a way to take the country back at the state level. Okay, I meant to get into the massive political awakening and realignment that's happened. And that's why the globalists have to launch World War III. That's why they've got to start giant crises. Because Merkel has lost the parliamentary elections. They have those in phases in Germany. So next time there's an election, she's going to be out of office. Sarkozy lost his parliamentary elections, is barely hanging on. Gordon Brown lost and is now gone. A new puppet's in. In Hawaii, the first Republican elected to the Congress in 20-plus years. In Obama's district, you see the Kennedy seat being lost in Massachusetts. You see Rand Paul trouncing the neocon candidate in Kentucky. You see the same thing with an anti-establishment Democrat beating Specter in the primary. Same thing, anti-establishment Democrat coming from nowhere, trouncing the establishment Democrat in Colorado over the weekend. People just go in and say, okay, who's the media telling me I should vote for? I'm going to vote for the opposite person. And that really threatens the system. That threatens the shadow government. Because they got a bunch of puppets in Congress that'll do whatever they're told. So all over the world, people are resisting these governments that have become vassals or tools or minions of the offshore banks. What did Brzezinski talk about last week to the CFR? For the first time in history, the entire world is awake to our world government. We have never been in a crisis this great. They are fully aware of us and our operations. This makes it very hard for us to continue the expansion of global governance. That's basically what he says. And so, what do? They don't play games. I mean, they grow opium and ship it into the country publicly. They ship the cocaine in publicly. They don't care. Shut up, so some of you know we bring it in. You pathetic scum, soon we have world government in place, we eliminate you all. I mean, you know, these guys are they love it. They love to get up and publicly tell us what they're going to do to us, yeah. They enjoy it. Well, I think more of people. I think we're men. I think we're going to wake up to all their tricks and their games. Yeah, we weren't paying attention before, but we are now. And so I'm going to tell you right now, folks, since the end of the official war with North Korea, we've never been in more danger on the peninsula. And we've never had a bigger danger with Iran or stage terror attacks. You know, the globalists are going to start wars and stage terror attacks to go after all their enemies. And you see all the preconditioning leading up to domestic terror attacks. Pro-gun groups are working with Al-Qaeda. I know, isn't that horrible? Those darn gun owners working with Al-Qaeda. We better get rid of the Second Amendment. Yeah, I'm not about to let Al-Qaeda do that to me. Yeah, those darn ranchers and farmers won't give their land up. They're American Al-Qaeda, too. We got to stomp them. Yeah. All right, we're back live. We're now into hour number 4. We have a guest coming up. I will intersperse some financial news and some treason news coming up during this interview. Very important treason news coming up. But right now, let's jam a few more phone calls in here. Up next is Michael in Colorado. Thanks for holding her on the air.
Hey, Alex.
Yes, sir.
To do with what you were saying, like how they put things in front of our face before they execute the attack. Like last year, I was watching Discovery, and it was a show about like ice ages, right? So they skip to this thing where they have all these scientists talking about the ice age and how they were actually talking about how there's an ice age coming instead of global warming, but that's not the point. They were working on these satellites, right, with these reflectors, and they were saying that with like 4 or 5 of these satellites pointed at one spot on the ocean, they would be able to raise the global temperature enough to battle this ice age or whatever. And but what they would need to do is have an oil slick on the ocean surface in order to bounce this ray into our atmosphere to bring up the temperature.
Well, I know this. Now the UN is saying they're worried about global freezing, and we're supposed to forget about all their fake global warming. And they're teaching school kids we must stabilize the climate. The climate is always unstable. I mean, they're even trying to blame volcanoes on global warming now. I mean, I joked about that a few weeks ago about the Iceland volcano. They're now in the news saying, oh, yes, thawing glaciers reduced pressure on the volcano. That has nothing to do with it. And, by the way, glaciers worldwide in the last 3 years have been getting bigger. So, I mean, they say the Haitian earthquake was caused by global warming. They say the Chilean earthquake was caused by it. Because they know the public is kind of halfway paying attention. And, oh, you better pay Al Gore. But meanwhile, Al Gore says he believes that the sea levels are going to rise the next 10 years and flood all the major cities. He's bought 2 mansions on waterfront property. It's just made-up fraud. You got this big, demonic, fat, lying piece of trash that told us NAFTA and GATT was going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then he's up there saying, pay him money, and he will save you from raising water. I mean, he's literally just a complete joke. I appreciate your call. Again, how did NAFTA and GATT turn out for you, folks? Well, remember, he was the one pushing that. He was the big spearhead on that. He loves conning people. He enjoys robbing you. Al Gore is a piece of trash. Chris in Boston, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, how you doing, man?
Doing all right.
Good. And I hope you hear the word thank you enough every day, every week, because you're certainly doing a lot for our country.
Well, I appreciate you, buddy. I'm just trying to save my family. Go ahead.
me too. And I have a 10-year-old son, so I hear that. But I'm a musician, actually a conservative libertarian musician living in Boston. So you can see how that works out for me here in liberal Boston. But actually, Bob Chapman sent you a song that I wrote called "Freedom." I was on a radio program with him. I'm not sure if you heard the song at all.
You know, it does ring a bell. I mean, I've heard so much good music. I'll have to go pull it up. Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube, and if you can look up, I think April 28th, Bob sent you the email with the YouTube link. But I wanted to, just if you ever want to use that song for any of your movies free of charge, I just want to be part of the cause, and,
What's the name of this song on YouTube?
It's called Freedom.
Probably a lot of stuff under Freedom.
Yeah, look up Chris Ross, Freedom.
Okay, good. We'll check it out.
By the way, I looked up American Spectator, and I had the quote. I'm not sure if anyone...
What, by Rand Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah, give us the quote.
He basically just said, as a United States Senator, I would never vote to condemn Israel for defending herself, and that's it.
Well, yeah, and I mean, if Israel gets attacked, then they have a right to defend themselves. So how is that? You've got the left media, you've got the right-wing media. They're all establishment incumbents attacking Rand Paul. What does that tell you about him? I mean, when you've got the entire fake political spectrum attacking him, you know he's good. We'll be right back. Stay with us.